In this podcast, former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett discusses the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, particularly in the wake of the devastating Hamas attacks of October 7th. He highlights the challenges Israel faces in dealing with an asymmetric war, where Hamas militants hide among civilians and use them as human shields. Bennett emphasizes that Israel is abiding by international law and making efforts to minimize civilian casualties, but Hamas is deliberately trying to increase the death toll to gain international sympathy. Bennett also addresses the deep-seated anti-Semitic sentiments among the Palestinian population, citing a poll that shows high levels of support for Hamas and a desire for the destruction of Israel. He compares the situation to the Nazi regime in Germany and emphasizes the need for a long-term strategy to address the root causes of this hatred. Regarding the Gaza Strip, Bennett rejects the idea of returning governance to the Palestinian Authority, given its weakness and corruption. Instead, he suggests building a technocratic government with the help of Abraham Accord partners to provide essential services and stabilize the region. He acknowledges the complexity of the situation and the need for a multi-year process to denazify the education system and media in Gaza. Moving to the West Bank, Bennett acknowledges the challenges of governing the area, given the presence of both Israeli settlers and Palestinian residents. He emphasizes the need to minimize friction and ensure a stable and competent civilian authority. He also highlights the importance of addressing incitement and education to counter anti-Semitic sentiments. Throughout the discussion, Bennett emphasizes that Israel does not want to govern the lives of Palestinians, but is committed to ensuring its own security. He also addresses the role of the international community, particularly the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, in perpetuating anti-Semitism and incitement among Palestinian refugees. Bennett introduces the concept of the octopus of terror in the Middle East, with Iran as the head of the octopus and its various proxy groups as the arms. He argues that Israel should focus on targeting the head of the octopus, Iran, rather than engaging in direct conflicts with its proxy groups in Lebanon, Gaza, and the West Bank. He advocates for a strategic approach to destabilize and ultimately topple the Iranian regime, citing the need to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. The conversation then shifts to the moral clarity and solidarity that has emerged within Israel in response to the recent conflict. Bennett acknowledges the internal divisions and polarization within Israeli society leading up to the conflict, but emphasizes the need for unity and a broad coalition government to address the security and economic challenges facing the country. He also highlights the courage and resilience of Israeli citizens, citing examples of individuals who risked their lives to save others during the attacks. Bennett also addresses the global implications of the conflict, particularly the rise of anti-Israel sentiment and the need for Western countries to recognize the interconnectedness of security threats. He warns that the spread of radical Islamic terrorism from the Middle East to the West poses a significant risk, and he urges Western nations to support Israel in combating these threats.